Well, well, would you look at that? I guess things look pretty different when they are eye level. I apologize. I'm not really used to that, but who knows? Maybe you can become some sort of entertainment at this level. Well, that is, if your arms and legs don't get many cramps. That could be really ugly. And, of course, in this castle, we take pride in beauty. I know you already seen the beautiful dungeons full of poetry we keep downstairs, haven't you? Every little corridor is just an adventure on its own. Every little bifurcation shows darkness, but there is also some delightful light that comes hand in hand with beauty and fascination. Don't tell me you weren't fascinated by what you found. I can see it in your eyes, despite that gross fear. Yes, you heard me well. I said gross fear because to call it intoxicating would be giving you too much to feel proud of yourself, and there is no reason for you to feel pride with what you are, especially when you are right before the lady that you should be worshipping. But what do you know about poetry, right? What could a simple mortal know about culture? You don't have the face of the person who decides to enjoy the most fascinating classical music. You don't even look like the person who could read an interesting book. Just thinking about your fate right now makes me wonder if you ever happen to grab a book other than that little notepad you have as an explorer. What did those books teach you? I mean, you haven't become well versed about the dangers in the world. Or perhaps, you were too confident that the stories you read and wanted to find out more about, maybe they could just guide you and give you all the preparations you needed to be safe and sound. Silly you. You should have listened to me. Now it's obviously too late, and quite frankly, that manly grunts, those manly little struggles, those manly drops of sweat, they just disgust me. And I don't have patience for things that don't meet my eye nor my ears. But it's okay. It's been quite a long time since I last had a male presence in my castle, and I have to say, I'm very used to cruelty. In all honesty, cruelty is, after all, what keeps me going some mornings. And most of the times, what keeps me very entertained at nights. Those same nights that you seem to be too entertained with those fairy tales. I have been entertaining myself in other ways, other impossible to imagine ways. Although by now they may not be too difficult to imagine, especially considering that you, as a little rat, have been sneaking, sniffing in my dungeons. So, what did you find? Something interesting that you want to show? That you want to maybe share with me? I guess we have a problem of someone getting his tongue stuck inside their mouth. What a pity. You should take advantage of that tongue while you still have it. Otherwise, there are some horrible things that could happen to it, especially when you don't put it to good work. You look so uncomfortable. Perhaps you want a glass of wine? Or maybe I can give you something to wipe that sweat with. Could that be something you are interested in? No. I wasn't really asking. So, I may be disgusted by you, but that doesn't mean I'm enjoying seeing this scenario before me. Shh. At this time, at this situation you're in, I wouldn't even flinch if I were you. But luckily for me, I'm not you. So, as I was saying, I'm used to cruelty, and I think it can be a lovely skill to possess, but I'm always used to female cruelty, so I don't really know how it works when it comes to man. If I had known about cruelty to male, I could have gotten rid of a little relative of mine. He is insufferable, and quite frankly, I do not have any hopes of him changing. I just think he will become worse with the days and the years, but hopefully I will outlive him. I mean, I already outgrown him. That bastard. He shouldn't be part of the family, staining our surname. What right does he think he possesses? But if I think about it better, I could just say he's a child, and in all honesty, you can get mad at children. They don't really know what they're doing, or at least they can seem to make their brain cells work all together. But I have to recognize really that he has brought some entertainment. Not for me, of course. I have an entertainment of my own, and I think it's very sophisticated. And that's enough for me. But he has some talents to recreate himself. I guess just being a little ugly and most of all dirty looking creature. Yes, I'm being too generous calling him creature, and if you want, I will give you credit for calling him names as well. Yes, I heard you. Come on, you think I don't have good hearing skills? You're such a fool. It just makes me laugh if I think about it. I wonder, though, how you managed to survive being this silly. You heard my voice in the dungeons, and you still thought it was a good idea to have your own adventure? Instead of coming back in those 2 minutes I gifted you? What a horrible choice. What a horrible, horrible choice. And actually, quite unintelligent, which is something that I do not really appreciate. But, I promised you would have a chance with me if you behaved, and since you decided not to, but after all you're still here. The thing is, I'm hesitant. If I end you right now, fun would be over too soon, and despite the company of my daughters, I'm missing some cruelty. But most of all, I miss the novelty factor. So, since I don't expect you to turn into a maid, because, come on, what can a man like yourself do for me? You don't even know how to wipe the floors. but, we could find you an interesting place in this castle. Maybe I just have to talk about that with my daughters, even though I like being the matriarch that makes the decisions. But in this case, this little hobby could be shared. Could you look at that? That hatred in your eyes? And you think that's going to save you? Let me show you about salvation. Let me show you about the rules in this custom. Give me your arm. Of course. You can't. Don't worry. I'll help you. Oh, shh. It's okay. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. Yes, you're bleeding. You're bleeding. But it's okay.
You won't die. Shh, shh. Stay awake. No. It's just a finger. Stay awake.
Stay awake. Look at my eyes and stay awake. Nice. Really nice. It can be better though, but I don't think I could be in the situation to be exquisite. come on. I'm not that monster. It's just a little bit of blood. If you want your finger, you can take it back tomorrow. Not now. Not now. Now you're going to take the chance to fade after my daughters come to see the spectacle. But don't worry. I have the methods to put this little finger that I will leave right here back to where it belongs. Oh, you really seem dizzy. What a pity. I will have to call my daughters so they come back and enjoy this before it goes to waste. I mean, you are like free water running down the tap, and I'm not about to waste the opportunity. So, I'll make you a little deal. You stay put right there, and when you see my daughters coming through this door, you just pay the respect I told you and warned you that you should have. If you don't, you know what happens, don't you? I have such extraordinary powers, such extraordinary strength, and most of all, such extraordinary skills for conviction and persuasion without even having to end you wholly. That is going to be interesting. And after all, such things are full of poetry. So, unfortunate gentlemen, to me, right now, you are still a piece of flesh, but it's better, a lot better, than to become a piece of waste. Don't let this opportunity die. Be a gentleman, have manners, and we'll talk in a matter of 2 minutes. Say, Pete, your finger stays here. I'll give it back tomorrow. I promise. Couldn't you take promise from a lady like myself? I'm a woman of